Hello, my name is David Danda. If y'all don't know, I mean none of y'all will know, but my name is David Danda, and this is my PowerPoint on the research paper. Okay, so let me just get to it here. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing my presentation on Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Let's get into it. Okay, so Pseudomonas aeruginosa is a gram-negative bacterium. What that means, meaning that it's gram-negative, is that on the cell wall of the flagella, it's gonna have a thin layer of a product called peptide O-glycan. Peptide O-glycan, and that's just it's a mixture of sugars and amino acids, and it's a plasma, and it looks like basically it looks like a baseball net. You know how it's with the squares, and it's a big, like a thin sheet of plasmas. That's all it basically is, and it's surrounded the flagella. And since it's the Pseudomonas aeruginosa is a flagella, that means that it's like a circular. It's like this. It's circular, and it has like hairs coming around, and it has like a big tail. That's what a flagella is. And the thing that's so interesting about Pseudomonas aeruginosa is that it's actually resistant to medications. Like, it's resistant to medications, and in time, if you leave them there, it can become immune to those medications. And it can also survive in low oxygen levels, as well as normal levels, like normal bacteria do. But this one is so interesting because it can live in low levels of oxygen. Excuse me. So what it can do, so as I mentioned before, Pseudomonas aeruginosa it can cause various infections, especially in animals, humans, and plants. It can cause in all those three. And the main place that they're found in soil, water, trash, but usually they're found in hospitals. And they can cause urinary tract infections, respiratory system infections, dermatitis, soft tissue infections, and even systematic infections. And usually, with these infections, usually like 15% of them are usually due to the Pseudomonas aeruginosa. And the way that happens, like the way they're usually found in hospitals, is through their biofilm stage. So their biofilm stage is basically, they're like gooey. They're like, if you ever picked up slime and you pick it up, it's like gooey. That's the way they look. They're usually attacking the host in the biofilm stage. And I have a definition here for biofilm. It's a thin, slimy film of bacteria that adheres to a surface. So yeah, it's just like gooey. That's just the way that it looks. But that's usually how they get onto people and then cause infections. And you know how I mentioned before that they can live in low oxygen levels as well as normal oxygen levels. So Pseudomonas aeruginosa can live in either low or normal oxygen atmospheres. And the way that happens is that when it's in normal oxygen atmospheres, the oxygen will then oxidate and cause the Pseudomonas aeruginosa to grow. They can grow there. But when they're not in good oxygen atmospheres, nitrate, which is NO3, will come into effect, and it'll act as the respiratory electron acceptor. So by that happening, it'll then take its nutrients and all that stuff and get it from NO3. I'm sorry. And this allows the NO3 allows it to grow into the beads. Like, the beads are like the inner part of the bacteria. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I just ate. And so yeah, they get their growth from NO3 instead of oxygen, if oxygen isn't present. And so it does not require organic growth factors. It can use over 75 organic compounds for growth. So it doesn't so basically one of those 75 is oxygen, O2. So it can get it from anything else, actually. It can grow off of other things. And usually they usually grow in temperatures of 37 to 42 degrees Celsius, which is that's normal for bacteria. Okay, treatments. This is where it gets interesting again. They are resistant to medications and could potentially become immune to antibiotics and resist to treatments. So I have a friend that did he did research on this bacteria at Brown University, and he told me that they try to use Germ-X, like a typical thing used to kill bacteria. They use Germ-X and it would not kill the Pseudomonas aeruginosa. It actually became immune to it. Yeah, mind-boggling. And I did some research, and I found that the more you use pharmaceutical drugs, it can actually speed the emergence and selection of the resistant bacteria. So what that basically means is that the more that you use pharmaceutical drugs, like the more they could adapt. So like, it's really interesting. I believe that there is not a treatment yet. I don't think there's a treatment yet to kill this certain bacteria. I'm really not too sure. Actually, I looked it up and it said that it can kill urinary tract infection, like the bacteria that's in there. But I couldn't find anything of killing the Pseudomonas aeruginosa. Alrighty, well that was a short presentation, but that's basically all that I could find on this bacterium. In the future, I am planning on doing research on this potentially, and hopefully find some theories to cure it for sure, for good. That'll be great. Alrighty, well, thank you for watching. Jesus Christ. Found it. Sorry.